Odsonne Edouard has been killing it in the Scottish Premiership for multiple seasons now. He's a player looked at by many top clubs over the last couple of years: Tottenham, Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund and Leicester City. It's Brendan Rodgers' side that seem to have signed the striker, but how exactly will he fit into Leicester City? How good really is he, and what style of striker is he? To take a deeper look into the player, I'll be using the sponsor for this video, OneFootball, to look at his stats in the Scottish Premiership. OneFootball is fantastic for this, looking at how players have really performed and learning about the player more. For example, we can see he's 23 now, his height is 187 centimeters, which is 6'1", a good height for a striker, but his aerial ability is something we will get onto. Swiping over on his profile, we can then see his 18 goals and 4 assists in 31 matches. 18 goals was the most in the league. A 37% win rate on aerial duels isn't brilliant, not a standout quality anyway, and you'll see as we compare to other Premier League players in this department later in the video. In the distribution tab, his 11 total crosses is an interesting stat which shows his creative side and evident in the number of assists he's got too. 18 goals then averages to 130 minutes per goal with a 66% accuracy on his shooting. One headed goal is disappointing really, but we're starting to understand his style more with the stats there on OneFootball. Plus, what does stand out here for me is his 51 successful dribbles. A clear quality on the ball, not just in front of goal. On OneFootball, you can look at news articles. This explains how Edouard and Rodgers would be reuniting at Leicester as they worked together for 18 months at Celtic. So a transfer that makes sense due to their relationship. To see all these stats for yourself in the latest transfer news throughout the summer, as well as Euro 2020 scores and news, download OneFootball with the link in the description. So from the stats, what we can find out is that he's a striker with a technical ability alongside his fabulous eye for goal. In the Leicester team last season, towards the end, we saw great form from Kelechi Iheanacho, which made Rodgers stick with the striker partnership of Vardy and Iheanacho. Now possibly with the signing of Edouard, we could be looking at this continuing, and the style of striker that Edouard is could suit this well. As he's not a striker who needs to be central or staying in the box, he's got the ability to take on a defender with some fancy footwork to get past a man, roaming into wide areas and predominantly on the left side. His height and long legs allow him to be clever on the pitch, stretching to reach the ball high in the air or keeping the ball up and flicking it across his head. It means in the formation, playing alongside another striker, he can be on the left where he is comfortable on this flank, moving out wide a little more to open space for a teammate to run into, and out in this position, Edouard is able to dribble past a defender, but all the while still being in a good position to score goals, coming narrower where the wing-back will be holding the width on the left side. It allows Edouard to get in the box or come deeper to receive the ball, as it still means in this formation you do have another striker in the box to make the runs. When he does get into the box, he shows good quality in tight spaces with his close control of the ball. In a 1v1, this can be dangerous as he's controlling the ball and then can quickly cut in the opposite direction while maintaining good control of the ball. After this, he can either look to shoot on goal if he's in a good position to do so, but he will also look for teammates to pass to with the creative aspect to his game. Now, in a Celtic team that does dominate the ball in their league, you'd expect the team to create many chances, but even still, 38 key passes by Edouard was the 4th most for the team. And this will come into play a lot in a Leicester side that does have a good range of players that score goals. The two strikers that play alongside him, Vardy or Iheanacho, but also Barnes, who has had a good season with 9 goals, and Maddison scored 8 as well. There is definitely potential for Odsonne Edouard to become a striker that gets many assists for the team at Leicester. You see Timo Werner at Chelsea and how he's sort of been a creative striker, a playmaking side to his game which can shine when he's in a position to move into the wide areas. I feel like I could see something similar happening with Edouard under Brendan Rodgers in the Premier League. But let's get it straight, his goal scoring record at Celtic has been his standout quality. Last season with 18 goals and 4 assists, the top goal scorer in the league. The season before, top goal scorer once again, this time scoring 21 times and assisting 9 times. His best season at the club, and that creative side to his game really shining through here. 15 goals and 5 assists previous to that, and then 9 goals and 2 assists in his first season. In the 20-21 season, his 15 goals inside the box was the most in the league, along with 3 goals scored outside the box, and that was the 2nd most in the league, showing he has the ability from long range. So we've said how he could play in the striker partnership, but how about as a lone striker? Well, that's what he's been doing at Celtic, so he is more used to it right now. It'd be new for him to play in a different role at Leicester. As the only striker though, Edouard would be able to bring his exact game from Scotland and apply it to England. Easier said than done, however. In this role, we could see him coming deeper to link up with the midfielders and teammates around him. For example, receiving the ball and having a winger make a run behind him, pulling that defender in to create the space behind, and that's how he can be effective here here. Especially that link up with Harvey Barnes and his pace could be a partnership that works really well together. Even in this formation, there is the potential for good link-up play from Edouard, to still show his creative side which he's done for Celtic and to show it in the Premier League. His aerial ability isn't something that stands out with him. His 37% win rate is okay, it lines up similar to other Premier League strikers like Bamford on 39%, Aubameyang 38% and Cavani 35%. One headed goal this season speaks for itself really. Edouard is definitely about having the ball on the ground and controlling it with his feet. In comparison to Iheanacho, it's better, he's on 17%, but that's really poor. Vardy's on 42%. There's the potential for Edouard to really kick on here at Leicester to be an exciting new addition to their team. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, then please click the like button, it really helps the videos getting found. For more football analysis like this, subscribe to Route 1.